and welcome to the show. I'm Gargi Rawat. The big focus today, the massive controversy over the draft electoral rolls in poll-bound Bihar. After the special intensive revision, the list was published yesterday by the Election Commission. Now, the opposition has been protesting against the S.I.R. in Parliament as well, alleging that the Election Commission's exercise was aimed at disenfranchising voters in Bihar ahead of the 2025 Assembly election, something that the Election Commission has denied. The BJP too, the government too, has called these allegations as exaggerated. Now, the Election Commission has tried to play down all these fears, even as over 65 lakh names have been removed from Bihar's voter list. People are allowed, however, to appeal if their name is missing till the 1st of September. But let's now bring you to the focus of our show today. A big controversy broke out when RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav alleged that his name was missing from Bihar's revised draft voters list, a claim the Election Commission promptly denied by sharing his electoral details. However, the epic number that was provided by the poll body was different from the one that was shared by Tejashwi Yadav. So this has now raised questions over whether he has two epic numbers, something, remember, that he can be prosecuted for. There can be a case against him for. So that is a matter of investigation. Well, to talk all about this, we'll just go across to our panel. But first, let's take a look at what has been said on this controversy.
यही है ना मेरा, ये एप्लीकेशन है, मेरा भी नहीं है. हम चुनाव कैसे लड़ेंगे? What does it mean? हाँ भाई, चुनाव लड़ने के लिए आपको बूथ वोटर बनना चाहिए, बिहार का वोटर होना चाहिए, तब जाकर के आप चुनाव लड़िएगा. नहीं, मेरा तो यहाँ है, दीघा के वोटर है, दीघा विधानसभा वेटनरी में. अब जब चेक करना, जब मेरा नहीं है तो यही ताजुब लगेगी ना. अब आप बताओ, जो बाहर रह रहा है, कितने करोड़ों संख्या में रह रहे हैं, अब वो लोग भी ऑनलाइन अगर चेक कर रहा होगा तो उन लोग का भी नहीं है.
हमारे पास जो उनके एपिक नंबर हैं, वो विशेष गहन पुनरीक्षण के पहले जो एपिक नंबर था और अभी जो आया, दोनों एक ही हैं, उसमें कोई कन्फ्यूजन नहीं है. दूसरा कोई एपिक नंबर को दिखा रहे हैं, वो तो देखना पड़ेगा. उसमें जो मीडिया में आया है, उसमें तो नो रिकॉर्ड्स फाउंड आ रहा है. ये पहले की बात है, मतलब वो जो एपिक नंबर वो कह रहे हैं, वो अभी तत्काल वर्तमान में एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता है.
तो बोलने का सबसे बड़ा ठेकेदारी लिए हुए ये लोग हैं. एक तरफ संविधान के किताब लेके चलेंगे, दूसरे तरफ संविधान का कसम खाएंगे, और तीसरे तरफ संवैधानिक संस्था को अपमानित करेंगे, उसके बारे में झूठ और भ्रम का वातावरण बनाएंगे. ऐसे लोग पर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए. इतनी स्वतंत्रता कतई उचित नहीं है जो अपने संविधान और संवैधानिक संस्था पर हमला करता हो.
All right, to talk about this controversy as well as the entire issue regarding this electoral revision process in Bihar, we're now joined by RJD spokesperson Ravi Shankar Ravi, Shazia Ilmi, spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Yashwant Deshmukh, founder director, C Voter, and Sanjay Kumar, professor, CSDS, co-director, Lok Niti, CSDS. Thank you so much all for joining us on the program, and we will be going across. We will be joined by Shazia Ilmi as well. But first, Ravi Shankar Ravi, to you regarding this controversy that has erupted over Tejashwi Yadav's claims, where he said that his name was missing. However, the Election Commission clearly showed that his name was there in the voters list.
I think it was changed in a handwritten format, and it was clarified that the name is in some other booth. So let us see what the, I think by tomorrow things would be more clear.
All right, but we can see what the Election Commission has shared, that number, his photo is there, the epic number is also there, and it seems it is different from the one that he showed during his press conference, and that is also a matter of concern, whether he had two voter IDs.
See, actually these are the problems now, and these are the problems which are emerging from lack of transparency. See, if a person, the leader of opposition in the Vidhan Sabha, he is facing such kind of a problem, then what would be happening and what would happen to those people who are coming from the extremely marginalized section, who are not that educated, who do not have documents, who are landless? What might be happening to them? What about these 60 lakh, 65 lakh people who have been deleted on the ground of the death temporarily or permanently shifted or intraceable? And what were the documents for the declaration? The
All right. So you're saying this is an
declaration
example.
for such thing, the documentary basis for these. So these
Well-
are the real issues. And just one second, they can't even make a complaint.
All right, well, we
Particularly
also have
those who are working in
Shazia
other
Ilmi there with
states.
us of the BJP. But first, Yashwant Deshmukh, I'd like to come to you. Your comments on this entire, episode that's taken place. On one hand, we're wondering whether Tejashwi Yadav has two voter IDs. However, the RJD, they're saying that this is an example of the kind of confusion that has been created by this entire process.
Well, if his name has deleted Gagi, then probably the polling agent of that particular booth has been given the list of all the people whose name have been deleted, are named or dead or transferred or permanently shifted. Each and every name of each and every such deleted name has been given to the polling booth agents of each and every political party on all the 90,000 polling booths. And they have got 1 month. By the way, these names are, Gargi, not given on 1st of August. These names have been already given on 20th of July to them. And they can very well point out, if there is anything. They have been given 1 month. So I'm not going on the two epic IDs of Tejaswi
Right.
Yadav. Arguably, Election Commission has very clearly said that there is only one epic ID and the previous one has been removed, probably. So
All
he
right,
should
we'll
be
come
having
to the
only one
larger
ID and his
issue
name is very much
of
there.
the voter revision process, but specifically on this issue of Tejashwi Yadav's claim. Shazia Ilmi, your comments.
I mean, all I can say, I feel very sorry for the spokesperson of RJD who has egg on his face, just like his political boss, caught lying so blatantly, so brazenly, having been called out. I mean, just imagine misleading people and actually doing it publicly. You've got to be really, you've got to have some gumption, some bandwidth of the worst kind to do something like this, and you think you can pull it off. Election Commission thankfully called out the bluff, not only read out the name from the draft electoral roll, and also shared, in fact, Patna Sahib's Lok Sabha seat voter list under officer Diga assembly segment with Tejaswi Yadav's name and photograph given under the serial number 416. So I think it's very embarrassing, and I don't blame RJD for wanting to run away from the elections, for making all kinds of excuses, because clearly they know they have lost the plot. This is one more proof of the same losing plot scenario and syndrome that is very evident. So my sympathies to the poor spokesperson who knows that his boss has been caught lying, cheating, doing a press conference when his name was there altogether. In fact, he has to do some explaining and have to explain to people as to why he had two voter IDs. What was he doing there? And if people like him, who have been deputy CM of a state, sons of CMs, can resort to such cheating, imagine what must be happening to other people, and how the cadres would be stealing election after election through dual voter ID. I think
All
there's
right.
a deep fear. There is a deep fear because of which the likes of Tejaswi are calling out the election commission, because they know all the cheating, lies are being caught. And all the electoral frauds they've been doing, they're known for. They were the original booth rigging party. We remember what 80s and 90s were like. So more of the same. Clearly, they are original masters of the game, which
All
is
right, I'll give him a
loot,
chance to
cheat,
respond.
and
I'll
lie.
give Ravi Shankar Ravi a chance to respond. But first, I'd like to go across to Dr. Pooja Tripathi. So today, Shazia Ilmi is saying that Tejashwi Yadav caught out in a lie, that the opposition is doing a lot of fear mongering regarding this entire voter revision process. Your own, party leader Rahul Gandhi has said that he has this atom bomb of information which will discredit the Election Commission. Your comments on, this, what has happened today with Tejasvi Yadav?
Gargi, what happened today with Tejasvi Yadav, the RJD spokesperson would be better in a position to clarify. But we look at the bigger problem.
But this larger issue of fear mongering, over this entire issue.
It's fear mongering. The fundamental premise against our, our stand against SIR is this process of, we are shifting from a presumed inclusion to presumptive exclusion. 65 lakh people have been erased from the draft voter list, and what I read here is 1 lakh people are untraceable and 7 lakh people are yet to submit documents. And they have given 1 month. Very gracious of them to give them 1 month of time to apply. And we are talking in a monsoon flooded Bihar, where 500 villages have been submerged. 13.5 lakh people are flood prone, and right now in July. This is the stats I'm talking of, July 24, 2025. These are the state government stats. And 229 panchayats across 18 districts are submerged. And this is where you have graciously given 1 month. There is no awareness campaign. There is no re-verification mechanism. Today, a retired IS officer, his post was viral where he shared that he has submitted all his documents, and when he enters his ID and when he tries to find his wife's name, he's saying you have to contact BLO for further documentation. I don't know what documentation they're trying about. And that's where, elections are not some entrance examination. Elections and the process of democracy is where you belong. It's you, me, or some Seema Devi from Supal, some Sushil Kumar from Patna. Everybody is tied by universal adult franchise, and it's duly called universal. And I put Supreme Court judgment here also, Muhammad Rahim Ali versus the state of Assam, Lal Babu Hussain versus the Election Commission of India, where they categorically mentioned that disenfranchisement should follow due process of law. It should be on per case basis. 65 lakh people have been eliminated from the voter list. 27,000 deletion per assembly segments, and 1.64 lakh people have been deleted per Lok Sabha seats.
All right,
and this is
Yashwant Deshmukh, I'd like to come to you on this now. So, this is a matter of record. 65 lakh have been deleted, have been removed from the voter list. The Election Commission has explained it. 22 lakh plus voters died. 36 have moved permanently, while 7 lakh voters were registered in more than one place. So this is how they've explained it. But the opposition is questioning this and saying, why no breakup, and how can somebody how can we verify if somebody has moved or not? What is the evidence the Election Commission has?
Well, Gargi, I leave the politics of it to the three political spokespersons.
Sure.
What I can talk is basically the number and the process of it.
Yes.
So basically, there are few things for all the audience to understand very clearly. Number of booths that have increased to 90,000 plus, almost 12,000 increase of the number of the booths. And that is simply done because for one booth, there is a limit of 1,200 voters to that. And for the first time, it is being ensured. Bihar is being the first state to have ensured that. So that's a welcome step. Number two, on 20th of July, each and every booth, the number and name of the people who have been deleted, those who have died, those who have shifted, those who are untraceable, each and every name has been given to each and every polling agent of each and every party in each and every booth, So basically they have got 1 month to point out if there is any problem. So far, not a single official complaint has been registered, which obviously is the case. There would be problem. You see, we can say there is problem when they point out a problem and Election Commission says we are not going to provide a solution to your problem. So far, not a single complaint has been done. And so obviously there is no case of, providing a solution when there is no problem. If there is a problem, the Election Commission has to give a problem. You see, Gargi, the only issue, I tell you, the only issue which I have this entire process is that I believe it is too close to the election. All the SIRs, and by the way, we seriously need SIR in all the states across India, because I personally believe there is 8 to 10% of flab in the voter list for a simple reason of the urbanization process, Gargi. There is no political reason behind that. In the last 30 years, there are two kinds of migrations in this country which has taken place. Number one, rapid urbanization has ensured massive migration from rural to the urban areas. And then for the case of Bihar and other states where there is a huge migration pattern, people going away from the state for the jobs and other things to the other states. So obviously they cannot be on the voter list of two different states at the same time. So there needs to be a cleansing process across India, across all states of this what is being taken. I believe there is 8 to 10% flab of sort across India.
All right, but many of those who supported also, as you have, point out to the fact that it is happening so close to the election time. Ravi Shankar, your response to what Yashwant Deshmukh said, and also the fact that there is a month's time for anyone who's been left out to make their appeals, and political parties are there to help them.
Yeah, Gargi, before that, I would like to respond to JP spokesperson. See, Tejasvi Yadav ji would not find his name in the list. He made it public. And Election Commission came up with some clarification. There could be confusions. It doesn't mean somebody is lying. So these kinds of language, I think, should not be spoken and should not be approved. Anyway, now, see, from the very beginning, there is a atmosphere of chaos and confusion. The basic processes outlined in the Election Commission notifications have not been followed, and that is why the matter is in the Supreme Court. This is the basic thing, the receiving of the enumeration form, the photograph, the signatures. So forms were submitted with signature, without signature, with photograph, without photograph, in a very hasty manner. Then these names which were deleted, and 22 lakhs people were declared dead, a few lakhs intraceable. I mean, what are the documentary proof for such claims? We just have to assume and believe what Election Commission is saying, which is already under scrutiny. So it becomes difficult to believe them.
Well, the Supreme Court has said that they will intervene if there's mass exclusion.
Yes,
so the onus is really on the parties to prove this.
And these documents, the Aadhaar card, Ration card, the Supreme Court suggested in the second hearing also Supreme Court suggested, but that is an optional. So they have collected the enumeration form. The process is still on. Real problem, I think, will emerge when the documentary verification will start. And these deleted names, these 60 lakh, 65 lakh people cannot make a complaint.
All right.
The names which are there in the draft list, they will also, I mean, they can only raise complaints.
All right. Well, let me take that to Shazia Ilmi as well. In fact, we're also, now being joined on the program by Sanjay Kumar, Professor CSDS. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. If you heard what the RJD spokesperson was saying, any comments you'd like to make? We have spoken to you before on this entire process, but now the list has finally been published by the Election Commission yesterday. And as we've been saying, 65 lakh names are not there. It's been explained by the Election Commission, however.
See, Gargi, I think when the process started, we thought that it is going to be very challenging for the Election Commission of India to do this S.I.R. Now, as we know that normally it was expected that people will submit the forms along with a proof of residence. Yes, as per Election Commission data, a very large number of people, maybe 97-98% people have submitted their forms. And that is how we come to know that 60 names of 68 lakh voters have been deleted. But at the same time, the bigger challenge is ahead for Election Commission of India. And what is the bigger challenge? A very large number of people have submitted their forms, but without a proof of residence. No documentary proofs have been submitted because Election Commission said you can submit those proofs later on. Now the bigger challenge is they are putting up camps, setting up camps to collect this evidence. So imagine such a large number of people are going to submit that proof, photocopy, etc., etc. Matching of those forms along with these documentary proofs is going to be a mammoth task. Will Election Commission be able to do that efficiently? That's the bigger challenge now.
All right, and as Pooja Tripathi pointed out over there, it's also the monsoon season. There's flooding also in parts of Bihar. But Shazia Ilmi, some of the information that has emerged after the publishing of the electoral rolls, the draft rolls by NDTV's Prabhakar Kumar in Patna, nearly 10 lakh names have been removed from Muslim majority districts. The highest deletion in voters has been in NDA strongholds. So these are the kind of information that has emerged regarding the voter list deletion, and that is what is fueling a lot of this anxiety around the process.
Well, I don't know whether one should use, again, religion and caste to tom-tom a point or a false claim. But the fact is, there has been an oversaturation, and the number of Aadhaar cards has exceeded the population of the state officially recorded. So there is something to be looked at. But I can imagine that RJT finds it extremely difficult to skirt the issue and it's clear that he wants to run away from the discussion. But I have a very simple question. If Tejasvi Yadav can do this, and these are the 2 points that I want to make. One, that he claims he could not find his electoral picture ID number, which ends with 120. He has to answer as to why he used the one that is registered, which ends with 228. Why did he use that particular EPIC number, E.P.I.C number, in the last election that ended with 228 and is there in his election affidavit? It is very much in the election in public domain, and everybody can see it. It is very much available there. So all voters of Patna district can see it, and everywhere else. So this is the kind of fear mongering that I'm talking about. And also the issue of numbers of voters missing. So if you're dead, you can't be there. That's very obvious. And why would you want somebody dead to cast a vote? You have to prove that he's alive. And for that, there are BLAs. Of course, BLOs have to do
36
the
lakh
work.
voters are said to have moved permanently, and
Yes.
that is something that is raising a lot of questions by the opposition, and the opposition has been demanding a discussion in parliament.
That's
also
exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. So there are BLOs and there are BLAs in every party, and the number of 12 parties, warring factions in Bihar, upcoming elections, we're looking at roughly 10 to 12 parties with almost 70,000 to 1 lakh booth level agents. So what stops them from giving evidence of a person who's alive and who doesn't have a dual ID or a registration in another state? They are most welcome to go in this 1 month and say this person is not registered elsewhere. If he or she is registered elsewhere, it's very easy.
Response to that, because all political parties have also been given the names, and if you have cadre on the ground, and you can help anyone who feels that who says that their name is not there. Yeah, if you can just unmute. Yes, there's a month to go there till the 1st of September.
I just blasted out the month's timeline because I think it's very unrealistic. It's very, it's an insult to the lakhs of people who migrate. It's an insult to the poor, undocumented, landless people. This whole process. When you say that, the whole political party representatives and everyone, you can approach the PLO, that's my fundamental problem with the special intensive revision. The onus of burden to prove citizenship, that Dr. Pooja Tripathi is a citizen, it falls on me. And this is a grave shift. We are at the junction of moral and democratic casualty, because that's where I have to go there. I have to submit these 11 documents for which Aadhaar and EPIC and Ration not feature. Supreme Court has said that. Supreme Court has said that.
Who else will do it?
Can you let me explain?
But who else? But you have to prove that you are alive and you have not migrated, and your name is only on one state list.
Till now, before Sir exercise, I was presumed a citizen because I went and voted. Election Commission gave me an EPIC card. Government of India gave me an Aadhaar card. I had a ration card. But no, now I have to give them the certificate, the education, the employment, things like that. Yeah. And what we are looking at a flat-prone state. We are looking at a state with highest migration. We are looking at an infrastructurally weak state. And that's where,
highest migration. So clearly it is obvious that many of them would be voting in other places, and only one person can have one voter card.
From what?
One person, one voter card.
For light down. Please don't interrupt me. I will interrupt you.
Make her point. Shazia Ilmi, please let Pooja Tripathi make her point.
Me. Please don't interrupt.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's what we are saying. That Supreme Court has also pointed out that, how can you provide the onus of proving that I am a citizen of the state, I am a citizen of the country from the state. Now, first of all, state used to come and, they used to check our documents. They used to come and they used to enroll us in the electors list. But now I have to go there. 1 महीने का time मिला है. There will be re-verification. And God forbid, the BLO says not recommended. Just now I mentioned Mr. Vyas, the ex-IS officer from Bihar, and his wife's name has said not recommended. And as far as the deletions in voter list concerned, several videos are viral on YouTube that the person is alive and the BLO is signing there. कि ये मृत हो गया है. The Sanjay Kumar from Patna.
That can be seen through. Exactly. That can be seen through, and BLS are calling it out, just like you saying it. And exactly this will be reported.
I am a citizen of country is on me.
All right.
And I have to take this 11 documents, which your universal documents are not part of. Election Commission has casually ignored Supreme Court's not once but twice advice, and then you go and then the PLA or the electoral officer will determine that I'm a citizen or I'm not. No, this is grave, travesty of democratic principles. This is grave travesty.
All right, I'd like to take that to Yashwant Deshmukh, sir. If you can, come in here. Lots of, points being made, and the fear is that it's the poor, the minorities who are going to be left out if voters are going to be left out of the Bihar Assembly elections, and they may not have all those documents. Sanjay Kumar sir also spoke about challenges in terms of showing their address proof. So your comments on that?
Well, Gargi, the graphics that NDTV was playing, I was watching that very closely, and I figured out that the Hindu majority districts more names have been deleted than the Muslim majority districts. So obviously there is, the data speaks. Political battles and political lines aside, Gargi. Let's look at the data.
Okay.
If a Hindu majority district has more deletions of the name than a Muslim majority district, there you go. Gopalganj. 15% votes cut, Hindu population is 83%. Purnia and Kishanganj, which Kishanganj is Muslim majority, but the numbers deleted over there is much less than the Gopalganj. So obviously, these are the points, political points. I will leave it to the political parties. I'm just going by the data and the hard.
But in terms of challenges now, given that there's just a month's time, people have to show up with all their documents.
Of course, yes. Gargi, that's what I said. The only issue which I have with this entire exercise that it is too close to the election date, operational challenge. But having said that, if Election Commission is going out of the way to accommodate everything and do it in a transparent way, even after these many challenges, including drought or the bar and everything in between and the natural disasters in between, then you should be commending Election Commission that, okay, they are doing an excellent job if they are doing. Everybody should be helping them. What I'm simply trying to say, I understand it is too close to the election date. I have criticized right on the date that it should be done. But now that it is done, you have enough time. These names have been given, by the way, on 20th of July, as I mentioned earlier. This is why everybody, and as I mentioned, Gargi, 1,200 voters on a booth, approximately 300 families. 300 families, 30 days. How many days do you think that the polling agents on the ground who actually know, by the way, each and every family on their fingertips, they can very well say and point out who is dead and who is not dead, who has shifted, who has migrated and who has not migrated.
Okay, Pooja
so
Tripathi,
I think they have huge numbers, they can do it.
You want to quickly make your point? I want to go back to Professor Sanjay Kumar. Yes, go ahead, Pooja Tripathi.
Yeah, I want to show the gems of Election Commission of India. This is from the draft electoral law. The Nirvachak ka naam is Madhu Kumari. पति का नाम is husband. निर्वाचक का नाम is नेहा कुमारी. माता का नाम is Election Commission of India. These are the gems of draft roll that's been coming out, and there's been many. There've been many that have been such kind of errors. And then you claim and say that this is a revision exercise. This is an exercise for purity. Election Commission is not there to.
So many challenges ahead, and this is for the parties also to raise this. Final word to you, Professor Sanjay Kumar.
No, the same point which was mentioned by the Congress spokesperson. See, the whole exercise was meant to clean the electoral roll. But what will happen in such a hurry? The things are being done these are some examples, but there would be several such mistakes in the electoral roll. I've already mentioned the matching of the address proof with the forms which has already been submitted is going to be very, very tough. So what will happen? there would be errors about, your name, your father's name, addresses, etc. So instead of this is I'm just anticipating that instead of cleaning of electoral roll, we would end up having an electoral roll which would be maybe as bad as it used to be. So I don't think this whole process is going to, get anything good for the elections of Bihar. Like, we are not going to have a clean electoral roll which may be used for the elections, the forthcoming elections.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm completely out of time, but thank you all for joining us on the program. I'm sure we'll have many more discussions on this issue going forward.